I didn't fail my fluke on this one, thank God. Well, this level was miserable. So my total attempt count is 1125, which that's pretty good. This level's pretty tough. I'm pretty happy with that. ErebuS by Platnuu. Similar to how Auditory Breaker is a prettier nerfed version of Sonic Wave, this is a prettier nerfed version of ErebuS, and just like Auditory Breaker, this is nowhere near as good as the original. I really did not enjoy playing this level. I don't think it's as bad as Auditory Breaker was for me. This definitely wasn't good. I guess I'll start off with my highlights. I think the nerfs that this level implements are really, really good nerfs. I think that if the level were to just have those nerfs and this decoration, it would have been perfect and probably more fun than ErebuS. However, just like with Auditory Breaker, Platnuu took the liberty to buff some sections. Very few, it's not as bad as Auditory, but they buffed specifically the ship at 69 and the wave spam upwards. That felt harder. I don't know if that's actually buffed. And then there were a couple sections, like the straight fly at the end of the pre-drop and a certain robot click in the pre-drop that are like ultra buffed because of moving objects, which make them way harder than they should be. There's just a lot of buffs that this level makes, which just make the level so much worse, just like Auditory. I know I'm mentioning Auditory a lot, but that's really the only thing I can relate it to. It's just not as good as ErebuS is, like the actual ErebuS. I also will say that a lot of the decoration is very overstimulating. I had to beat this with no shakes on because I really could not beat this with shakes because it was so overstimulating. But even then, at the drop at 63%, there's a flashbang that happens, and you cannot see what happens in that first ship of the drop, bro. It's basically blind, and it's so stupid. I can say the same thing for the ship right at the end of the pre-drop, but yeah, all in all, this really isn't as good as the actual ErebuS is, which is really funny because I think the actual ErebuS has a lot more BS in it, but you can see in that level, and it plays way better than this does. This is just not nearly as good as the original. I mean, obviously, if you've beaten ErebuS, give this a shot. It's not going to take you very long. It took me like one night to beat this. But if you're like looking around for levels around this difficulty, if you haven't played ErebuS, you might enjoy it more than I did. But if you have, you're probably not going to enjoy it. So I don't know if I recommend it or not. Just, take it at your own pace. But yeah, that's all I got.